Take a picture, come on.
I swear I can't breathe. I can't. Please get me out of it. I can't.
You just forget it. We'll do it next time. We'll do it better. Come on.
What?
You can't shoot anything, just look forward.
Oh, careful!
Yes.
But we can comb it over.
Move your hand.
We can comb it over.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Quietly in the
Don't listen to you.
Oh, there. That's what you said. Oh my God! Here comes another one.
As many times as you go. Ready, go.
Yep.
Okay, now.
Go.
Okay.
I didn't do it.
It's the wonder the candles aren't glowing with all the
That's
hot,
exactly right. That's
all
your
the
fault.
hot stuff coming up from over there.
Behave. Let me fall. Oh! Now, but how do you do this thing? My God! Maybe, wait a minute. I got
That's
it.
the speaker.
That's the speaker.
That's amazing! We're not going to show anybody that.
We're gonna show everybody.
We don't have to cook anymore.
We don't have to cook anymore?
We don't have to cook anymore.
Oh, yes! Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god! We got it, we got it.
That's it. Just smash it.
I'm ready for this one.
Yeah, come on.
Mr. and Mrs. Jared and Lisa.
Cynthia.
Just go. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God!
There you go. Hey, buddy. Woo!
Make sure it's deep enough.
This is a good one.
These rocks are slippery. There's JP's. That's JP's.
Don't.
What?
That bear moved!
I'm gonna have something to show you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, laying it. Yeah.
You got that on video, right?
Go. Oh, that feels going over there.
Dad, it's okay if you fall in.
Don't run into my desk. I got a good desk. Don't do that.
Good girl.
Yeah.
There's what's it called? A new doorbell with a video camera on it.
You can carry it out, you can have it.
Hey, no falling.
Dear Paula, happy birthday to you.
Go boy. Keep going. I let go. I let go.
You're getting it, Nanny. You're getting it. A little more. It's weird. It's a weird feeling. You're there. You're there. You got it. All right, now try to speak, Nanny.
Oh.
I can do this. I'm at the grocery store. Wait, how do I stop this food?
How am I gonna get out of this? Okay, how am I gonna get out? Because I'm kind of jammed.
Go, Poppy, go! Go, Poppy, go!
Oh, he's flying.
He's like the wind. He's like the wind.
You can do it, Grandma. Here she goes. Here she goes. Oh.
I have no idea.
Friend.
Like the belly.
Hey, Dave! Oh! Oh! Oh!
All right, let me know if y'all can hear me.
Oh my god!
Y'all should be able to hear me now, YouTube. YouTube, can you hear me? YouTube, can you hear me? YouTube, we are the... Oh, well, YouTube, can you hear me? Y'all should be able to hear me now, YouTube. You should be able to hear me now, YouTube. All right. Let me check it out. You can hear me clearly? Yeah, I'm broadcasting on YouTube and TikTok, which is, you know, challenging in and of itself because there are two different platforms that operate two different ways. But I'm trying this out. So YouTube should be able to hear me at this point. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Somebody asked, why do you think pick-me's are so dangerous? I mean, I kind of explained it, but let me just say this. Hold on one quick second. Let me pull something up. Bear with me a moment. Let me just pull this up. Here we go. Oh, that's too big. Shit. All right. Hold on. Bear with me one moment. It's too big. Usually things being too big is good, but in this case it is not. Okay, so let's talk about it. All right, let's talk about colonization. All right, TikTok, you got it. YouTube, you ain't got it. So let's talk about the definition of colonization, and I'm gonna just hold on. Let's talk about the definition of colonization, which is essentially what we're dealing with here. So, in the definition of colonization, it's the policy or practice of acquiring full or partial political control over another country, occupying its settlers, and exploiting its economy, the state apparatus that was dominant under colonism. Now, let me say this, because I ain't trying to fill y'all with too much intellectual fervency tonight, but I want you to think about this. Men tell us all the time that they are here to conquer, okay? They tell us that they are conquerors and that they are here to conquer. Do they not say that? Do they not say that they are hunters, right? They say that they are hunters and that they are here to conquer. Well, you got to think about what that really means in so many. And if you understand what that means that they are here to consume. They are here to take over. Colonization, conquering, all of those things are proponents of patriarchy. Y'all been living long enough to know what patriarchy is. But if you don't know what patriarchy is, I'm going to break it down for you. Because at this point, there are a lot of people, far more people than what patriarchy has allowed, that whose voices are just getting heard. So patriarchy is three components. Most people combine them. They say that patriarchy is for the QYT male, or take the Q off YouTube. I gotta say coded language for TikTok, because TikTok is, I got some choice words. I can't say it. So colonization or patriarchy is for white males, white heteronormative heterosexual males, right? Most people combine the three. I'm going to give you one. I'm going to say that they are separate from one another. Patriarchy is the worship of whiteness, it's the worship of maleness, and it's the worship of heteronormative behavior. It is the worship of whiteness, it is the worship of maleness, it is the worship of heteronormative behavior. So when we talk about those three things, looking at them separately and not looking at them collectively, because we usually see that all in one group. There is a hierarchy here, whether it is direct or indirect. There is a hierarchy here, right? And so anybody that's not white by phenotype is a minority. Anyone that's not male by phenotype is not a priority. Anybody that is not heteronormative is also shunned, except for when those quote unquote heteronormative people want to have their cake and eat it too, or they want to, you know what I'm saying, play on the low, right? Those three things are what is worshipped in our society, in Western society, right? So if those three things are worshipped in Western society, you got to think to yourself, the hierarchy or everything was created with these three things in mind: making things easy for the white person, making things easy for the male, the cisgender male, making things easy for the heteronormative person. Those three things. So if you fall under one of those categories, you get some sort of credence or hierarchy in this society. And this society is created for your benefit. So what women were able to do is they were able to, at one point, get access, especially black women, get access to two of the three by being with and marrying a BM. So it wasn't like it was done because of will or some big to-do about preserving the black family structure, as many of the talking points you will hear in the manosphere, like they were in the damn mind of the women in the 1950s. I'm pretty sure the minds of the women in the 1950s was very similar to the minds of the women today. Okay? But they will say that they did this because they wanted to preserve the family, kids, this, that, and the other. Please understand that colonization comes with a psyops. Colonization comes with a psyops. So this was never born of women's will. This was never born of women's will. What you're seeing today is more so of women's will, and they try everything they can to make us suffer for it. Don't they? Don't they? Okay? Bear with me a moment. Bear with me just a quick moment. Oh my God. Stupid thing. Hold on. All right. So if y'all picking up what I'm putting down, even people who are heteronormative or and I myself promote heteronormative relationships, had the luxury of believing that they were superior to those who were not. Are you serious? Hold on one second, y'all. I'm dealing with some stuff with this YouTube. YouTube ain't going too well. YouTube need to be a little bit easier. Hold on. Aggravating. Okay, here we go. Aggravating. All right. Bear with me a moment. All right. So, colonization. It's the ability to be able to consume what you have. And ultimately, if you look at what I have on the background, right? There were 3 components of colonization that this guy, who was a sociologist and a writer of different racial and colonial texts, his name is Robert Blonner. I might be pronouncing that incorrectly. I do apologize. But there were 4 components. There was forced entry into territory. There was culture and patterns of social organization. There was domination of indigenous population. And there was justification of activities that were highly prejudicial and racist beliefs and stereotypes. So that's only with the racism. Listen, I want y'all to put that in context when it comes to women. Women have also been colonized. Women have also been marginalized. So the pick-me woman is a woman with a trauma brain. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Let me show you what a pick-me woman got going on if the screen don't distort it. If the screen don't distort it, I'll be able to pull it up. Yeah, it's distorting it. It's distorting it. I'm just going to have to read it to y'all. I'm just going to have to read it to y'all. Hold on. Okay. Let me see what they're saying here. Make sure you like, make sure you share. Like and share. Like and share. So black males colonize America, hence the reason y'all hate us. So let me answer that question for you. And this is a question that I got on TikTok, YouTube. Black males did not necessarily colonize us. What's up, Coffee Cat? How you doing? Oh, they got demonetized. Ashe. Yes. Keela Jones says the black man is stuck in the lies his mama told him. That's partially true. She was honest with the hardship with the daughters and lied to the males. Yup. I would say so. But that's in the context of black world. Let me take you all the way to the core, and then we're going to go to black world. So the brother on TikTok asked, so black males colonized America, hence the reason y'all hate us. No, you didn't colonize America, but let me tell you what you were part of. You were part of what I like to call the coochie allocation program. Some people have heard me talk about this, and I'm just going to talk about it with y'all on today, okay? Y'all, it is called the Coochie Allocation Program. I want y'all to take that take it into your mind real quick, okay? And essentially what the Coochie Allocation Program was how the government controlled men. Men were barbaric. Men were out of control. And the government knew, and you can't see it fully, but this is a woman's head, and this is how her mind has been colonized. At the center, you see the eggplant. And I'm going to pull that picture up for you in a minute, YouTube. At the center of her mind, you see the eggplant. Then around the eggplant, you see baby, you see cooking, you see home, you see church, and you see cleaning. Okay? This is what they, this is all they want women to think about and know. Okay? Trust and believe. So let me just answer this brother's question. Y'all benefited from the coochie allocation program. The coochie allocation program was a farce. Okay? It was something that made you all believe that you were entitled to certain things. It was what patriarchy lied to you about. Patriarchy lied to you and told you you were something that you simply are not, my dear. Patriarchy lied to you and told you you are something that you are simply not. So as soon as I finish going over things, I'm going to let people up. And the sooner I can get through this, the quicker I can let y'all up. So hang on to your questions and your comments and stuff. I'd love to hear it. Just give me a little bit. But yeah, so with regard to the coochie allocation program, it is how the government and the elites controlled men. Men were out of control. Men were barbaric. And obviously it is found psychologically that if men have control of something, they're easier to please, they're easier to get to work, they are easier to control. So this world that y'all say y'all built, it's because the elites told your asses to do it. Okay? It's because the higher ups made you do it. Okay? Aha, made you look. You a slave to a page in my rhyme book. Hey, sometimes I break out in song. That's just me. Okay. So what the elites did, this elaborate scheme, was give every poor man or man of medium income, man of regular income, and give them their own little mini kingdom so that they can rule as they see fit. If you look at kings throughout history and throughout time, kings were never nice guys who were sweet and kind and loving and cared about everybody, okay? A lot of kings were dictators. A lot of them were cruel. A lot of them were sexually depraved. A lot of them did awful things in the name of advancing those particular kingdoms, right? So they understood that if you have a number of peasant men who don't have some sort of power somewhere, you're going to have a problem eventually. Okay, they not finna sit around at home, okay, and just be good guys because the law said to. They was gonna get buck wild. So the government said, shit, not today. And they came up with the coochie allocation program. So they got the church on board, and they got the TV programming on board, and they got everybody on board to make it appear like these barbaric men of all races and colors. Now, I ain't just talking about BMs. Got them on board to sell their soul to be married. To sell their soul to be married. This is the reason why, as many women have pontificated, women take on men's last name, because that's a proponent of her being property, slavery. That is all connected. And y'all try to act like those things are not connected, and they are. A lot of you are intellectually dishonest. That 1950s was miserable for women. It wasn't peaches and roses, because baby, roses really smell like boo, boo, boo. I told y'all sometimes I just break out in song, okay? Roses really smell like boo, boo, ooh, ooh. Okay? It wasn't peaches and roses. Those women were suffering. That's why they made laws about not graping your wife. That's why they made laws about not unaliving your wife. That's why they made laws about not beating your wife. Why? Because it was happening. And it was happening so much so to the point where they had to make laws for it. So the idea that these 1950s relationships were nothing more than a way to control men. Y'all was barbaric and out of control. So the reason why women don't really, black women have so much to say about black men is because a lot of times they remain within their lower nature. I'm going to show you something real quick. Hold on. Let me put this up on YouTube, and then I'm going to show you what I wanted to show y'all. Hold on. One second. Make sure you comment. Make sure you share this. All right. 1 second while I load this on YouTube. Men are coddled. Yup, it gave mediocre man a woman. So this is a commenter on YouTube that says it gave mediocre men a woman. Because the way it used to work, it was highly polygamous, baby. I don't know if y'all know this, but it was highly polygamous. It was the best of the best men who got all the women. It was not every man got a woman. And so patriarchy done lied to you is what we're trying to tell you. We're trying to tell you patriarchy done lied to you. Every man was not getting himself a woman. It just was not happening. Okay? So them good old days y'all talking about is your good old imagination and that good old lie they done told you. And now y'all in a tizzy because you don't understand that it was all a lie. It was all a dream. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Hey, y'all know it? It was a dream. It was a motherfucking dream. It was a motherfucking dream. So the church had a concerted effort of colonizing the mind of women. And when you think of colonization, that means you take over the indigenous practices and you replace their thought processes with the practices that most fit the narrative of the colonizer. So the men of lower standards or lower income benefited. Again, there are three things that are pedestalized in Western society: whiteness, and that's by phenotype. Okay, because I know some of y'all got something smart to say. Shut your mouth. It's by phenotype. Okay? Okay? I'm light skinned. It's by phenotype. Okay? So it's whiteness, it's maleness, and it's heteronormative relationships. Whiteness, maleness, heteronormative relationships. Those three things are exalted. And everything we do, everything we see, every place we go, everything we want to know is characterized by those things. By upholding whiteness, by upholding maleness, and by upholding heteronormative relationships. And the reason why so many people are up in arms now is because those three things that, have been upheld for centuries is not getting looked at as an automatic flex. It's not getting looked at as an automatic, oh my God, yes, go mediocre QYT person, go mediocre man, go mediocre heteronormative marriages and relationships. Yes. Nobody's clapping it up for that shit anymore. Nobody's clapping it up for that shit anymore. So now they're in a tizzy. Now they're at a loss, right? Now they don't know who they are. Now they are suffering from some level of identity disorder because their identity has been largely predicated on the idea that they are top tier, that everybody aspires to and wants to be them. And that's no longer true. So it's hurting men's feelings, it's hurting white people's feelings, and it's hurting heteronormative relationships' feelings. And who was the biggest proponent of this farce? The church. The church. The church. So who's losing here? But you see, when you colonize, you take over the mind that was indigenous, that was already there, and replace it with your shit. So the PickMe is still operating on her colonization, not realizing as soon as you take something out of its natural habitat, you're actually abusing it. Y'all ready for that conversation? As soon as you take something out of its natural habitat, you're actually abusing it. Male-centered, babies, cooking, home, church, cleaning. Anything that a woman do outside of this is not okay. It seems to be like it is shunned. It's looked at as some sort of, evil plot against men. It's an evil plot. You're evil. You don't got my at the middle of your thought process? How could you, you dirty, nasty, stinky, ugly biatch? That's how y'all act. You went to school, F you. You love yourself, soft life, F you. Because, let's bring it back to the coochie allocation program. Mediocre men of mediocre means was getting themselves a woman to abuse on, getting themselves some children to abuse on, to rule over. Right? That's why Priscilla says the nuclear family is not normal, because it was created by a construct. And that's what I was trying to say in the beginning. When she got into it with those chicks, Sister George, or whatever the case may be, I just simply want to add a little bit more context to it. When you don't understand patriarchy, and I'm going to let people up in a minute. When you don't understand patriarchy, right? You don't understand that you're under a matrix. So everything in your life has been taking you out of your natural habitat. It's been abusing you. It's been taking you from your indigenous mind. Now, I'm going to talk about what the natural indigenous mind of a womb man was, but I'm saying, and I'm setting this up so that y'all have it clear in your mind. You were taken out of your indigenous mind. The things that we're doing now is not a strike against men. It's just the truth being more visible. And so men take it as a strike, right? They take it as a hit because they've been lied to. Do you follow me? Because y'all been lied to, and you believe the lie, and you live by the lie, and your pick-me girlfriends live by the lie as well, here we are. But when we talk about the real nature of men, why would they give them smaller kingdoms to control their barbaric behavior? Why did they create laws to control their barbaric behavior? It's not to say that women have not become this way or women don't do messed up stuff. It's to say that more times than not, it was the men that they couldn't control. So they gave them babies to slow them down. They gave them to land to slow them down. They gave them jobs to slow, and crap jobs too. Hey, get on the railroad. You might lose a foot, but make that railroad, you get out there and wade in the water and get that hammer and put that railway together so that they can feel like noble men of honor and valor, but not get any real thing other than women to control and children to make. And perhaps maybe they'll throw them some crumbs like some land here and there, but they wouldn't get titles. They wouldn't get power. They wouldn't get autonomy. They wouldn't get say-so. That was reserved for a very small percentage. So now that you realize that you have been lied to, I want you to understand that roses really smell like boo-boo. Now that you understand that you've been lied to, you can't really necessarily go around to informed sovereign women and tell them, hey, we're not going to marry you. Because it was like, if I'm still colonized, I want you. But if I'm decolonize my mind and I become a sovereign woman, you're only valuable to me to the extent that you benefit me. And judging by this economic landscape, the only place you benefit me if I am into penis is your penis. Mm-hmm. Your penis in your pockets. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Logically, there wouldn't be any other benefit, right? Because patriarchy has given you an inflated sense of self-aggrandizement that really didn't exist. And so all we're doing is saying, it just didn't exist, honey. And there's nothing more that I can do about it to make it exist. The spell is wearing off. Okay? Yes, the patriarchy is collapsing. Exactly. Somebody on TikTok says, hold on. I'm finna come off camera, TikTok. I know y'all love my beautiful face, but I'm finna come off camera for a second. Okay. So TikTok says they're losing grip on the Sun Group because they are going back to savage ways, which is causing women more harm. I would definitely say so. That there is a lot of savagery and there's a lot of barbarianism, and the behavior tendencies is disturbing. So if you're going to try to preserve your energy and preserve yourself, you're literally going to stay away from the group that causes that. Did you see PickMe's talking about Keke Palmer? Yeah, they half damn retarded. Oops, excuse me. My bad. Don't get my live taken down. I did not mean to say that. So I guess talking about the pick-me's is as good a time as any to talk about the signs of Stockholm Syndrome. So again, once you take something out of its natural habitat, it then becomes abused because it's not operating in the way it's meant to operate. When that happens, you're going to experience some level of malignancies, okay? So let's talk about the malignancies that you might see, okay? So signs of Stockholm Syndrome is feeling emotionally connected to the abuser, feeling pity for the abuser, sharing the abuser's values, believing in the abuser's humanity, responding to the abuser's kindness, refusing to escape the hostile situation, all right? Refusing to convict the abuser, helping the abuser in his or her crime. Now, the crime is the crime against humanity against your ass, okay? It is ridiculous. The whole thing with Keke Palmer, okay, and her Dusty, is she should have listened to Steve Harvey instead of trying to listen to the elder, what's her name? Ayanna Von Zant. I'm going to tell you why. Because, guys, the men may not necessarily tell us why they're telling us something, but they're going to tell you because they're not going to give up the entire game. The men are not going to give up the entire game, right? The men are not going to give up the entire game. Shit. They removed my live on, I knew they was going to do that. Damn it. I knew they was going to do that. I was telling too much truth, y'all. Too much truth. Cool. I can focus then on you guys. That sucks. Yeah, they look for any reason to try to kick you off of TikTok. You cannot hardly say anything. Like they are really very sensitive. Bear with me a moment. Oh, awesome. Yeah, Millie. What's up, sis? Yeah, they do the most. They do the most for the least, honey. Garbage. All right. So we was getting to some shit here, and they was mad. We was gonna start to really break down some things, and they was mad. I understand why. Because the way I was hitting them, I wasn't hitting them with a bunch of opinion and feelings. I was hitting them with historically contextualized facts that is undeniable, right? But it is what it is, you know. That's TikTok for you. That's TikTok for you. Hold on. Let me see if they... It was determined that your content violates community guidelines. Boo! TikTok, you suck. TikTok, you suck. To the TikTok, you don't stop. I know you're not going to play that song. So, ultimately, what I was saying was, so let me get up Keke Palmer. Give me a moment, guys. It's a little easier on TikTok because you ain't got to go through a computer. You go right to your phone. You know. But we're going to put up my girl, Keke Palmer. I got an immense amount of respect for Keke because a lot of women would not have left they Dusty for his transgressions. They would have stayed with they Dusty. Okay? And just been going through their little abuse cycles, you know? So I got an immense amount of respect for her because it's like, nah, see, you didn't play past your stop, buddy. Okay? You ain't got it like that. You ain't never had it like that. And matter of fact, I ain't never even gave you the impression that you could have it like that. But once I dropped this baby, you sure got active. You sure got active, didn't you? They do that. Give me a sec. I do not like computers no more. Like straight up. Hold on. So, okay. One thing while I'm talking about Keke Palmer and being pretty much taken from your natural habitat or your natural sense of self or your natural understanding. A lot of us are indigenous women. We're indigenous women of color. Male worship was never really a part of our thing. Oh, you love my keyboard? Thank you, sis. Everybody said it. I love this keyboard, girl. I got this off Temu.com, baby. Yes. I love this keyboard. But okay. So, we've been colonized as women. And the reason why there is so many issues between women is because the PickMes are still the colonized women with Stockholm Syndrome. The women who are becoming sovereign are getting attacked relentlessly by the males, by the PickMes, and that's basically what happened to Princella. So, now I know she don't care nothing about it, but when they came for her, It was mainly because they see men doing bad stuff, women doing bad stuff. They think that's an equal playing field. They don't understand that. Contextualize this. Men do bad stuff to women because of the fact that they can get away with it. Because of the fact that patriarchy says they can do XYZ. Women do bad stuff to women and themselves also because of patriarchy. Once a woman has been colonized by the patriarchy, the PickMes are nasty, they're vicious, they're petty, they're contemptuous, they are backbiting, they're competitive. Do you understand what I'm saying? So once you have been colonized under patriarchy, your sister is not your sister, she's your enemy. It's like being triangulated. Women cannot see the value in women because they're so busy fixated on the male gaze. And if they cannot maintain the male gaze, part of them is not going to be okay. Psychologically, we're talking about being psychologically conditioned under a psyops to see yourself as inadequate without a male. Now, don't get me wrong. I never said there was anything wrong with liking, loving, caring for, valuing, wanting to be with a man. I never said anything was wrong with that. But here's what I have said. I have said that if you are so involved in a man that you are willing to self-destruct, we talking problems here, okay? We talking innate problems here. We're talking you wanting to self-destruct and destroy parts of yourself so that you are more viable to something that is a spinoff of you. I ain't gonna go too far into it, but y'all know the difference between an XX and an XY. If we came from men, we would be YXs. They would be YYs. So we understand the natural order of things is that they are a mutated version of us. Right? Make sure you comment, make sure you share this. So in hearing that they're a mutated version of us, how can you make yourself more palatable to something that has less inner resources than you? You can't. You would have to break yourself. The abuse has already started. And I'm going to point y'all out to the prototype, Eve. She is one of the goddess prototypes and archetypes that we have pretty much patterned ourselves off of in Western society. What you say? Law body? You're superior? I wouldn't look at it in terms of superiority. I would look at it in terms of nature. Nature is created how nature is created. So if I'm telling the truth about women and men, and it takes away this superiority identity that men have been able to have for centuries, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just simply pontificating on, speaking on, and bringing up a natural fact. So it's not saying that we are necessarily superior to men. It is saying that it is the ordinance of nature. It's just like saying grass is green. If you've been lied to and told that grass was purple your entire life, and then you look and then you found out grass was green, it might be shocking to you to hear that grass is green. And now you're going to say to yourself, well, that don't sound right because grass has always been purple. Now you saying it's green? No, that don't make sense. So the first archetype of this conditioning of this, what's the word I'm looking for? The first archetype of this conditioning, of this programming, of this psyops is Eve. Eve. Now, I ain't finna get into, y'all gonna have to go to, Sonnet or TV or some shit if y'all want to go through the whole biblical blah, blah, blah. I'm just gonna summarize it. It's a 6,000-year-old book. People of melanin color and hue are millions of years old. So this book is a proponent of colonization. Now, in the door, Eve is said to be nothing without a man. She wasn't from the dirt like the man. She was said to be nothing without a man. Why? Because she couldn't exist without Adam's rib. She couldn't exist. So already in the door, she's a clone. Okay? Already in the door, she's a lesser being. Because why would the divine build Adam from the dirt and then say, oh, you a lonely ass dude. Man, you getting on my nerves. Give me one of your ribs. I'm finna make a chick for you, boy. And that goes along with the coochie allocation program. That goes exactly along with the coochie allocation program. They control men through giving them rights over women. This is not something that I'm making up. Y'all can research it. So Eve already had to be in the mindset that she is nothing without a man. She cannot have an identity outside of a man because she comes from his rib. Okay? Then she got shame on her. Why? Because she the one that tricked him and ate and listened to the snake and convinced Adam to eat the apple. Already, in order to be the ideal woman in Western society, you have to think you're nothing without a man, and you have to believe that you have some sort of shame, some sort of toxic shame in order to be a woman. Now, the Bibles and the books and shit like that ain't gonna really give you a full elaborate story on one second. The Bible and all of that ain't gonna give you a full elaborate psychological analysis of what happens to a woman when her mind is like that. But we see it in real time. We see it when we look at women nowadays who are pick-me's. These women will do anything for the male gaze. They will do anything for the love and the attention of a man. It's nothing wrong with loving a man, but it's something damn wrong with being so willing to compromise your dignity, your sense of self, your voice. It's something damn wrong with not loving yourself enough to value yourself, to not be in a toxic situation. You are taught not to prioritize yourself. You are taught that you have this shame. And honestly, that's the connecting point to being abused. You have to have some level of shame. There has to be some psychological conditioning. And that is the reason why I say they got Stockholm Syndrome. I ain't never lied about that. Hold on. I should have labeled these. So Eve is the first one out to be colonized, to become a faction or a fragment of herself. When you become a fragment of yourself, you lose a lot of mental sanity. You cannot be so listen to the story. Listen to the stuff that these men say. They say that they come and they are hunters. So you're hunting women, right? This makes sense to you. You're hunting women. Okay, well, that comes with some implications. Once you capture what you're hunted, you intend to destroy it. to colonize it, to conquer it, to make it more fitting for you. Once you take something out of its natural, spiritual existence, you turn it into something different. It becomes a Franken version of itself. You're talking about all types of mental health issues. And a lot of women suffer with mental health issues that they can't even make heads or tails of because they mama done suffered with them. They granny done suffered with them. They great granny, the women in the church. Being man-centered is not natural. Being divine-centered and having a complementary partner is natural. But everything else is fabricated. And who gave them that fabricated world? Patriarchy. Boom. That's why these women got Stockholm Syndrome. Pure and simple. Let me see. I don't know why it's cutting off for me. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Okay. Let me see if I can. All right. Okay. So Law says, I learned during plant biology that I can't see that. I don't know why. Hold on, let me see. Okay, now I can see it. I learned during plant biology that brown algae gave birth to land plants. The only reason why it survived is because of the melanin, so I understand exactly what you're saying. That's why the crusty lip Dusty felt it was okay to get on Beyonce's internet and tell black women how he felt like it was what it was appropriate to wear. Yes, you saw that video. Yes. Thank you, girl. Yes, I call this the ethereal booze, baby, because let me tell you something. This is straight liquor, no chase. Okay? We hitting it hard. We hitting whiskey. We just we guzzling whiskey like we taking it, baby. We taking it. We feel that fire. You understand me? Good women starter kit. Think you are nothing without a man. Yes. 2. Feel chronic shame for being a woman. Yes. Thank you, Millie. Thank you. Yes. That is the good woman starter kit. At its core, that is what they gave us. That's what they gave us. So let's talk about what we were. And there were other indigenous women of European descent as well. But today I'm going to highlight the melanin woman of indigenous culture and just kind of go over that. Bear with me one moment. So this is like Oya. Oya is from the Yoruba spiritual system pantheon, and she's seen as like the goddess of weather. So y'all know Storm in X-Men. That's who Oya is patterned off of. She was a warrior. She was a lover. She was a fighter. She had a voice. She was on her Queen and Zinga type of time, okay? She wasn't just that light femininity of compassion, care, and love and softness. She was a transformative femininity. And let me just pull up real quick the dark femininity. Because when they call it dark femininity, we got to understand that we live in a world of dualism. So in the two-dimensional world, they're going to always tell you that there's dark and there's light. They need that type of contrast and duality. This is how they control. This is how they conquer. Now, it's not something that we can necessarily do anything about. So when I show you these things, of course, it's not speaking holistically, because ultimately women were always supposed to be this way. We were always supposed to embody the dark feminine energy. We just simply were not allowed to, and we were shunned. We were shunned for doing so. So when you're shunned for doing so, obviously you're going to think something is wrong with it. but it wasn't. It was that we had been colonized. So when you've been colonized, you automatically gonna think something is wrong when it's right, right? Because you're gonna go with the conqueror's point of view. So in the dark feminine, you're wild, you're passionate, you're discerning, you're destructive, you're wise, you're intense. Baby, I don't know. I ain't even intend to call myself out like that. But shit, they sound like they describing me. Oh, baby, that's me. That is me. The dark feminine energy. But what do they value in our society? What are these manosphere bots constantly telling us? You need to be in your light feminine. You need to be docile, nurturing, trusting, creative, open, lighthearted. You need to make life easier for us. It doesn't matter how manic and severe we act. You are supposed to stay in your light, easy, surface level energy. That dark, seductress energy like Shira 7, that intense, destructive energy like Priscilla, that scares them. Because when you were colonized, you were supposed to be in your light feminine and your light feminine only. And now we going back to what it was and not what they said it should be. Oh, yeah. You understand me? Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes, she is definitely on fire. She tearing their ass up, too. She is tearing their ass up, baby. They are not ready. They are not ready. So we've covered the fact that what these PickMes, and it's easy, it's quick and easy. They are the colonized women. We talked about patriarchy. We didn't talk much about misogynoir. Misogynoir is like the bootleg patriarchy. It's just patriarchy without the money. At the very least, patriarchy gonna say, yeah, I need to come up with some money to take care of somebody. If I'm going to expect them to be under my rule. Misogynoir is like, no, I have a penis and 2 balls. So, yeah, that's all I need. We talked about Stockholm Syndrome. We talked a little bit about the goddess archetypes. And let me just see what Millie is saying here. And we were programmed to forget. We know in our DNA exactly. Many women ignored, or like you said, self-destruct and break within. That's what I want to highlight. That's what I want to highlight. Now, let me say this. Is it easy to do your dark divine feminine in this construct? Hell no. To the no. Okay? Doing your dark divine feminine in this construct could potentially get you beat up. Okay? I mean, it's funny, but it's not. It could potentially get you beat up. Okay? It definitely will get you ostracized from the crowd. If you have a family of pick-me's, which many of us do, if you got a family of pick-me's, of man-centered women who believe that their greatest accomplishment was having children, listen, having children and having a man, we in trouble. Because a lot of times these women look at you like, what's wrong with you? You must be sick. That's that Stockholm Syndrome, right? They're not even in their natural state, right? They're not even in their that's why a lot of those women, they be having fits. They be having all kinds of emotional problems, which eventually leads to physical problems. And what they husband be doing? Their husbands don't even be caring. Those women will start japping out, having 3 kittens and a puppy. He'll leave the house and come back later on. He will literally leave the house and come back later on. He don't want to deal with that. He don't want to deal with that. She acting crazy. He going on out there, all she fussing and hollering and screaming and stuff. And then the men look at it like, what did I do wrong? Well, you took her out of her natural habitat. You take a fish out of water long enough, ain't it gonna unalive? Ain't it gonna unalive? You take a fish out of water long enough, ain't it gonna unalive? And even if for some reason the fish does then become capable of living on land, it's still not going to be its best self. Matter of fact, I used to watch this TV show called Siren. I love that show. I would be happy if they bring it back. But I used to watch this TV show called Siren, and it's about the dark, divine feminine. And basically, what it was the siren song of the seductive, dark, divine feminine mermaid, right? I don't know if y'all saw that show. But anyway, so the main character, Ren, in the TV show, she would and matter of fact, you can find it on Hulu if you wanna look at it. Because I love watching stuff that highlights the dark, divine feminine. It's like they're gonna tell you the truth, but they're gonna put it in plain view. You understand? So they're gonna make it seem like it's entertainment, but really it's the truth. So the main character, Ren, she could only be out of water for so long. Okay? She could not be out of water for long periods of time. Okay? This is it right here. You can find a TV show on Hulu. So she had become enamored, of course, with a man who she fell in love with during the show. But let me tell you something. She was also in love with a woman too. Okay. They had a little threesome type dig going on. That's the first time I seen it on TV, but you can find it on Hulu, on what's that? Freeform TV. Okay. They're a little bit more liberal on Freeform TV. And so essentially Ren went out and she was a mermaid. And whenever she was a shapeshifter, so whenever she would go in the water, she would shapeshift into this predatory mermaid. And the mermaid colony was a matriarchal colony. The men listened to them. When the women were ready to mate, they mated. The men were there for mating purposes and war purposes. But the women were the matriarchs. Now, I'm not saying that I am like in favor of the matriarch, because I'm still a little on the fence with that. What I'm more so looking at is how can we deconstruct where we are now and then see where we need to be, because I don't think it's a specific, we haven't established what we need to do yet, but we do need to tell the truth about the women. So the women were in charge in here, in the Siren, in the movie, in the TV show, excuse me. But when she would come off land, she would change into her human form, but she would have malignancies. Like her skin would start to get scaly, or she would have like really weird fits, or she adapted, but she didn't adapt without being broken in some way. She ended up doing okay in the end. But it's the same thing with women who have been colonized and bashed over the head, not invited into patriarchy, bashed over the head with patriarchy. A lot of women gonna do okay, but they never going to find the best parts of themselves. They're never going to have the courage to tap in to the best parts of themselves. And the best parts of themselves embodies both the light and the dark divine feminine. Okay? Not just Eve ass. Okay. You know? It's going to embody both the light and the dark divine feminine. You're going to be able to embody both. That's when you're in your wholeness. You know? Every now and then, if you're around them, they will break away from the play, drop the costume, and reveal they know it and see it too. Yep. but they put it in the clown makeup back on quick and cognitive dissonance. I would say so. That is what the pick-me's do. Every now and again, and then it's like they program and start attacking them. Like as soon as they'll start to see, they'll start to be like, you know what, I see it, and then I don't know what'll happen. Maybe somebody will give them some eggplant and give it to them real good, and they back program, or maybe they'll start to over empathize with their son. You know how black women are about their son. They'll start to over empathize with their son, and boom, they back in the pick-me-ville, right? But can they really help it? Because there's so many things that have taught us to be pick-me's. So to be a non-pick-me is radical. I mean, they already tried to shame us with calling us feminists and all this and all that, but that didn't really work, did it? It didn't last very long. I mean, and I'm going to just go off of the black TV shows, okay? TV shows like Martin, man-centered, okay? All Pam did was get accosted by not having a man. And Martin was a whole fool most of the time. So Gina it's like these women can never be their greatest selves and be amazing unless they have some part of them that's including a man. Because if they don't, that doesn't seem right. That's not realistic. Listen. Girlfriends. Another one. Okay? This was another one who all they talked about all day long, every day, every minute. And I listen, I loved and I watched all these shows. But looking back, I know that I was being programmed. And it was so inconspicuous. It was like there was nowhere you could turn where you thought to yourself, well, damn, you know, these are wonderful, amazing women, and they just being wonderful, amazing women. It's not a bad thing to just be wonderful and amazing women. There's plenty of male shows, plenty of male soap operas where the men get to be wonderful and amazing by themselves, i.e. football, i.e. wrestling, i.e. basketball. They get to have an identity outside of women. Women don't get to have an identity outside of them. And then they are lisping with anger when we talk about having an identity outside of them. It doesn't make sense. Girlfriends being one. Living single. Having a man. Their whole Achilles heel was having a damn man. Somebody make it make sense. Hell, even more recent TV shows like Insecure. What was she insecure about? Not having a man. Having problems with a man. I'm just saying. There's no place, every Tyler Perry movie, exactly. There's no place we can turn where just being a beautiful, amazing woman is enough. You have to be a beautiful, amazing woman with a man. With a man. This is a part of the programming of patriarchy. So you can't really fault these pick-me's because how would they know any better? That programming's strong. Because I think all of us have been through that process before. But just because they're under the spell does not mean they're not a danger or a threat. These women are so far gone about the male gaze that they feel the need to be competitive with their developing teenage daughters. This is how fucking sick they are, right? You can't tell me that ain't a true sickness, right? They will be competitive with their teen-aged daughters. She come from you. She come from your womb. And you're competitive with her? Make it make sense. I'm not competitive, but every time you see her, you're rolling your eyes. Every time she opens her mouth or she expresses herself for her beauty, you're trying to shut her down and shut up. You so thirsty to have a man in the house, you ain't even checking to see if that man is trustworthy enough to be around your damn kids. That shit will drive you insane. Women could be considered clinically insane by ways of which they act over a man. Let me look up the definition of clinically insane, because I think I'm on to something. Okay, so insanity. Mental illness of such a severe nature that a person cannot distinguish fantasy from reality, cannot conduct his or her affairs due to psychosis, or is subject to uncontrollable impulsive behavior. Insanity is distinguished from low intelligence or mental deficiency due to age or injury. So basically what they're saying is you could be intelligent and you could still be insane. You could still, and a lot of these women, they so colonized by the male gaze that they don't even know they jealous of their own daughters. They don't even know that they're competitive with their sisters. They don't know that. That's just how fucking ridiculous they are. But clinically insane, because what happens when you take something out of its natural position? What is our natural position? Being like Oya, being like Aphrodite, being like Bastet, being like any of the indigenous women who are not really acknowledged or included in any historical information. But of course, it's his story, so we understand that. So a lot of these pick-me's are clinically insane. They cannot establish from fantasy and reality. They are living in a fantasy world. The man that they are with, a lot of times those men be awful, just awful, and average at best. And she just so delighted and so enamored and so exalting of him. And listen, hey, it's a great game. You males, clap it up for you. If you got women doing all that, hey, listen, bro, I'm trying to tell you, you ain't at this point, you ain't the bad guy. The other part is women are conditioned to forgive and turn a blind eye to men's shortcomings in these TV shows. Exactly. Watch how they script men's issues as something women just have to deal with. Yes. 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 Absolutely. Absolutely. I absolutely agree. The men don't have to do anything to concern themselves with making changes within themselves unless they really want to. And don't get it twisted. It ain't just the black shows. It's the QYT shows too. It's the white shows too. Sex in the City, big one. Man, that Mr. Big drag Carrie's ass all over that show. Okay? That Mr. Big drag Carrie's ass all over that show. I felt sorry for the bitch most of the time. Oh, God damn. Damn. I mean, damn. He just was just awful for no reason. And that woman could not, for the life of her, and you know, honestly, it's like setting a woman out on a stroll, because the woman was so mentally scorched from the ups and downs and the highs and lows of their relationship. You know, the man she was sleeping with was just because she was reacting to his rejection. That woman waited, what, a good 10 years to marry him? A lot of these women pay for their marriages well before they get married. That man had captivated and he had control over her whole mind. It was like he set her out there to be pimped, to be humiliated, to be abused. That's what I'm thinking. It seems intentional to me. When you know how sick a woman is for you, how obsessed she is with you, and you do all these psychological games and you reject her constantly, you know what's going to happen. And you know that sleeping around with other men is only going to make her feeling stronger for you. She's going to boomerang back every time. She's not going to be able to let you go, because what's motivating her to go out here and sleep with these men is the fact that she can't have you. That's why she's acted that way. And these males know it's abuse, honey. It's abuse. They know exactly what they're doing. Don't think for 1 second they don't know exactly what they're doing. It's a part of conquest. He gonna destroy her so much that when he do come back, she ain't gonna even think to leave. She not gonna even fix her lips to leave. Child. So many things we as women have chosen or have not understood as to the reason why we have went through the things that we've went through. We've not understood what was going on and why we were in these relationships and why, they didn't work out, or why we felt used, or why we felt abused, or why we felt misunderstood. I think half the time these men just don't even know why it's so easy for them to do these things to women. It's because you got a whole political system, a whole media system. You got all the Abrahamic religions. Got nothing but eggplant at the center of a woman's brain. That kind of colonization, to me personally, is kind of cruel. But I ain't going to get on my soapbox tonight. I'm going to just tell y'all, with all the evidence provided, you do understand now what we're really looking at, what we're really dealing with. There's no way you can have a lot of women go around and they say they want something real and they want something genuine with these men. And I hear you, sister. That's a beautiful thing. But one thing I want to give you some insight on, or at least to give you something to pontificate, is that many of them have not elevated past the basic lower levels of consciousness. I literally watch that video on my page and watch the last video I uploaded and watch one commenter who said, why are these BMs not focused on being innovative in science and technology? Why are they not focused on contributing to the world in a meaningful way? Just how women look and so on and so forth. You do understand that this is basically the only thing that they can conquer is us. They ain't gonna conquer their demons. They ain't gonna conquer the financial institutions. They're not gonna conquer land. They're not gonna conquer. The best thing that they can conquer is us. They go to work and they're a subordinate. They go out in the world and they're a subordinate. They be for damned if they sit around and be a subordinate with a woman. They be for damned if they sit around and be a subordinate with a woman. Why would they? Yep. All right, guys. So this was really good. You know what? I am gonna have to stream separately with TikTok and YouTube. I didn't want to, but I'm going to have to, because TikTok is far more sensitive. You can't just say what you want to say on TikTok. You have to, I don't know, you have to be mindful of every group of people in every single way. So, sometimes I get to go in and I'm not thinking TikTok. I'm not thinking TikTok appropriate language and shit, So I'm gonna have to figure out how I can work TikTok in there. Let me see something. They're stuck in their feminine, sounding like a woman talking about aesthetics. Girl, yeah. Sounding crazy too. Wigs and lashes. Boy, you better shut up. I'm not even gonna talk about that, man. Just look at the video. It was a crying shame. Like you really took your time to record that, because you're a very brave man. That's all I got to say. I hope you all have enjoyed. I'm gonna try this again every other week on Saturdays at 10:30, and then I'll figure out my TikTok schedule. I don't know it yet, so. But I appreciate y'all. Make sure you share this. Make sure you subscribe. Love you all. And then I'm gonna figure out how to get my show a fancy